Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Just Coded with Sarthak. In this channel, we discuss about tech, career, product, and life. And we are back with the part 2 of this video with Tathagat. In this specific video, we discussed about a lot of this different things with regards to CRED and his journey, how he moved into software development and front-end development, what are the different skills that he's worked on, different tech stacks and everything. So हम काफ़ी उसके बारे में deep dive करेंगे and his journey towards CRED. I hope आपको ये वीडियो काफ़ी अच्छी लगे and stay tuned till the end of this video to get to know all about his interview experience and his preparation strategies and thinking behind what should be the ideal mindset while switching the companies from one to another. So उसके बारे में discuss करेंगे. And for that I would अगर आपने अभी तक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा है तो please hit the subscribe button down there and without further ado let's start with the video.
So moving forward, I think if we switch on to what your new story, you have been able to crack CRED, but ये सबके लिए मुझे लगता है mystery box type है कि how did you get into CRED? Like how did you apply? What was the process there? Like कैसे मिला? Is it like a simple career page पे जाके form fill कर दिया? Is it like a referral? Was it like a simple cold mailing that you did to some manager कि आपकी टीम में कोई opening है तो मुझे refer कर दो? What was the process there?
It was not not entirely a cold mailing kind of thing, but I randomly just messaged one of the people I knew over there. I just randomly pinged him. Okay, is there any opening at CRED? So I again luckily got a chance to get an interview call over there, and then I was interviewed. So I did not apply through career side. So so basically the interview was. Again, I'll share a interview experience as well. Basically, so the once I got the call, again the first round was a normal telephonic discussion with the again what I'm expecting out of the company, what I wish to join, and they wanted to understand basically HR telephonic call kind of thing. So once that went through, I again had a round with one of their front-end engineers, because again I was applying for the front-end role again, so I was interviewed according to the front-end wala domain. So after telephonic call, the first round was with one of their front-end engineers. So I had a discussion around basically JavaScript and whatnot. Basically the interview went for again 2.5 hours, I guess. The first round was again 2 to 2.5 hours का पहला round था. तो उसमें we discussed almost everything, because you can just imagine like 2 hours, 2.5 hours में क्या क्या नहीं होता discuss. So we discussed everything, like from my CV to what was my past learning, past projects, past challenges, JavaScript concepts, and few hands-on coding questions as well. Few one or two questions were there, like I coded in them in JavaScript, and then HTML, CSS तो होता ही है front end का. So basically it was a whole kind of a summary what I did in my 1 year, what are my learnings, what I know about JavaScript, what I don't know about JavaScript. So that interview went pretty well. And then second round was again with one of their engineers. Again, it was a technical round again for like 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. That was a machine coding kind of round. So I was given few tasks to build like maybe some prototype kind of things to build out on hands-on session were there. So a machine coding round in which they tested my JavaScript concepts as well, HTML, CSS, and all those things, my past projects and whatnot. So this was like for again 2 to 2.5 hours again. And then once this interview went through, the last round was the managerial round. It was again of an hour, so 1 घंटे का वो round था. So yeah, this was the like around like 3-4 rounds in short. And yeah, so the process was quite quickly, because I was interviewed. Like the process took around a week and a half, almost a week and a half. I was wrapped up. So I knew that after a week and a half, okay, whether I'm going to CRED or not. So this was the whole interview experience of CRED. And then again the front end, since it was a front end role, so I was mostly drilled upon JavaScript, CSS, and HTML part, and hands-on coding as well. So yeah, this was the interview experience at CRED in short.
Yeah, I think, and one of the interesting thing is that कि आपका 2.5 weeks में पूरा process wrap up हो गया. Because for most of the companies, it's more like कि आपने apply करा.
Because this is the first time actually gave, I guess, first time it was जब मैंने this much, lengthy interview. Like I never gave a 2 and 2.5 ka lengthy interview. It was
Yeah.
almost like कभी कभी 1 घंटे का होता था.
Right.
One maximum 1.5. But this time it was like almost 2 rounds in a single round. So this was
Right.
also something new for me. But yeah, it was interesting because I was able to answer a few questions. So I found it interesting. I was also not able to answer every question. Some questions I did not know, but then I learned something new with every question they
Right.
asked me. So it was a kind of a learning as well as motivation kind of interview for me, because irrespective of the fact whether I got selected or not, but the learning was immense. So basically I got to learn very, very new things out of the interviews. The people over there were, they shared me the solution. So I was very, the learning was very huge in that 2.5 hours.
Definitely, I can understand कि 2 घंटे का round is too much. Like आपका पूरा एक aspect of your life has been explored in terms of whatever the projects would be, CV, what you're currently working on, what's your expectation, what different knowledge you have, और कितना depth में जा सकते हैं. 2-2.5 घंटे is too much. I know that. Like I have been part of such couple of interviews where I have to sit for 2.5 hours, and that was like at the peak of the grilling that you can expect, right? But at the same moment, वो conversation कभी-कभी अच्छा भी होता है because the interviewer and you are on a different comfort level. So वो जो conversation है वो conversation की तरह feel होने लगता है after some time, because it's not an interview anymore, because आप काफी सारी चीजें discuss कर रहे हो, एक अच्छा environment सा create हो जाता है. But yeah, definitely बहुत grilling होता है. And I think personally, like looking back at my interview experiences, the reason that I joined PhonePe was this was the interview experience that I had most grilling on. Like from the day one, first interview that I had, it was the grilling that I had in that one interview was immense, and that's why I knew कि irrespective I get rejected or selected, I definitely want to join this company in future. Like इतना अच्छा interview experience मिला है. Uh, so that is one thing for me. Is it the same for you as well कि काफी अच्छा grilling हुए तो और ज्यादा kick मिलती है कि इसी company को join करना है?
Right. So grilling. So if we talk about the motivation behind joining CRED and why I wanted to join CRED, was basically, again, as CRED is known for its UI and UX. So I being a front end engineer, I was always driven crazy by the UI of CRED actually. So I actually wanted to contribute towards that UI. Definitely, this was the first drive. And secondly, when the as you talked about the comfort level during the interview, so this was being 2.5 hours ka interview. It was not that I at any point of time during the interview I felt कि यार grill हो रहा है, अब छोड़ देते हैं. I kept on, as the time got, I spent more time with the person taking my interview. I got comfortable, and I was, I started enjoying the conversation, and then I felt कि okay, these conversation are, actually making me learn new things. Actually, I was not feeling कि मैं grill हो रहा हूँ यार, and I to be honest, I stopped, feeling कि मैं interview दे रहा हूँ. I was like actually feeling कि ये discussion हो रहा है normally, like we are actually, he's asking me something, I'm keeping my points, what I know about that question, whether I know or not, I'm keeping my points, and then I'm able to solve it or not, that is secondary. But then eventually I'm learning how to solve it. If I'm able to solve it correctly, then very good. If I'm not able to solve it correctly, he's just guiding me and he's helping me, and eventually I'm learning कि अच्छा ठीक है, इसको ऐसे करते हैं. So it was not interview literal sense में, but it was like it turned out to be a discussion among two people who are discussing something, like one being my senior maybe, and I'm just he's asking me a few questions, I'm keeping my points on those questions, whether right or wrong does not matter. So yeah, so again, these interviews are like fun, and they give you immense learning. So yeah, this was so kick was again the UI and UX of CRED. I was again always driven crazy by the UI of CRED, to be honest.
Yeah, that is so true कि जब इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट होता है इंटरव्यू जैसा लगता है, लेकिन ओवर टाइम जब थोड़ा सा टाइम पास होने लगता है, इट्स मोर लाइक अ डिस्कशन विद वन ऑफ द फोक्स, हेल्दी डिस्कशन, अ गुड डिस्कशन. इट डज नॉट फील दैट वो एंजाइटी या वो स्ट्रेस है इंटरव्यू वाला. सो इट्स गुड कि वो 2.5 आवर निकल जाते हैं. एंड देन आफ्टर यू रैप अप द इंटरव्यू, देन यू रियलाइज कि अरे 2 घंटे हो गए क्या, ओ 2.5 घंटे हो गए क्या.
Right.
That is one of the things. And definitely I can
So the interview
recommend
was
कि
not supposed to be like of 2.5 hours, but then it eventually turned out to be of 2.5 hours kind of interview. Like it was actually supposed to be a interview of 1.5 hours, I guess. But then we kept on going, and eventually it took out like 2.5 hours. So yeah.
Correct. Yeah, but this also shows somewhere that interviewer are also enjoying that conversation. कि अगर से आधे घंटे में मतलब समझ में आ जाता कि we don't have to hire this candidate, they would have wrapped it up in 1.5 hour itself. But उन्हें enjoyment था conversation में, they were also
I did had I in the past I did had these kind of interviews as well where I was supposed to sit for like interview was supposed to be of 1 hour length, but I got freed up in like 45 minutes, 30 minutes because I know I
yeah,
just fucked that interview and fucked up that interview, and then the interview just stopped, and then he said, "Okay, we'll give you the feedback," and I knew the feedback because
yeah,
एक घंटे का interview अगर like he's like wrapping up in almost 30 minutes, so you already know the result. It's just the formal
exactly.
result waiting. So yeah, I did had these interviews as well in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
even today as well. Like I do have such kind of interviews where people just they just wrap the interview as quickly as possible because I'm not
Correct.
able to maybe answer those questions which they ask or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah, for me, one of the interviews was like 15 minutes because in 15 minutes when I explained, like they said, tell me about yourself. And whenever I mentioned whatever the details are, he realized you are not 4 year experience. And then I said, I never mentioned that I have a 4 year experience. So they said, this is some goof up that HR made with the scheduling of interviews and something like that. So this was a panel discussion. 3 people are standing in front of me. I'm like, ठीक है, we can conclude the interview right now because we are looking for a candidate who is a 4 year experience employee. And I was like, okay, I am also not in the position that I can negotiate कि ठीक है, I am at least 3 years, that makes sense or something like that. ठीक है. So cool.
it happens a lot.
Yeah. So one last question would be around CRED. How's the perks and benefits at CRED look like? What's the work culture? How's the work-life balance there?
So see, I have been like almost for 2.5 weeks, which is very short period, but till now, like the culture is excellent, to be honest. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
never felt I started, contributing, and I started feeling comfortable with the team members and the people out there very, very soon. I was not like so today I don't feel like I've joined a new company and I'm new. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like comfortable with almost most of the people whom I've interacted with. So the culture
Mm-hmm.
is excellent. The people over there are like souls who are like crazy to just go out and dwell their full energy and work with their full energy, and those people are just crazy. So I've just been comfortable with them, and the perks are again, people are like everywhere putting these gifts and all those on social media. Okay, Craig
Mm-hmm.
gave me this and this, so the perks are definitely crazy, all of us know. So
Right.
nothing new in that. Apart from it, like the work life balance is there's no, I mean, there's no pressure from anyone to you just need to do your work and just fulfill your commitments. That is it. So there's
Mm-hmm.
no working hours kind of thing, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a relaxed kind of environment where you can just work with good and talented folks out there. So yeah,
Right.
I'm just enjoying every bit of it right now.
Correct. And I think that's the best part कि अगर आप startup में work कर रहे हो लेकिन still you get that work life balance, that is something which is rare to see in a startup. तो काफी अच्छा
So
feel
I
होता
won't
है
say that
मतलब.
I won't say there's a work life balance. काम नहीं होता, but the work is like not, someone is not there sitting on the top and just making you do
Mm-hmm.
work. You do the work on your own because you are like full of
Right.
energy and you are driven. So you do your work on your own, and there's no one to actually डंडा लेके सर पे कि काम क्यों नहीं कर रहा है. You yourself
Correct.
कि काम करना है मेरे को, and I'll do that. It does not matter whether I do it in the night or in the
Right.
morning. So those flexible things are over there definitely.
Right. Definitely. तो मतलब वही वाला point है कि uh, I will get the shit done. It doesn't matter when will I do it. It will maybe do it at 2 a.m. in the night, but you will get the shit done at your right
Yes.
time. That's what is expected, and that's what the best part, that you are doing it in your comfort zone. मतलब there have been
Right.
times like I have been to places just writing AFK और फिर मैं रात में बैठ के सारा काम complete कर दिया. That's good. It's still right, and that's the best part. So yeah, I hope that you have a very, very good life, great life at CRED, and you get to learn a lot of things new. And thank you so much for sharing all these journeys and all these learnings with the person. And I hope all the audience out there will understand and will decide how, whenever to switch a company, what to look out for, and and also how to crack these great companies like Rixigo and CRED from your interview experiences. So kudos for that, and share. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Sarthak. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
So folks, with this we come to the end of part 2 of the series with Tathagat. I hope आपको ये वीडियो काफ़ी अच्छी लगी होगी. इसमें काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग नॉलेज थी, काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग कन्वर्सेशन विद तथागत कि how he was able to crack CRED and what was his thinking behind why he applied for CRED and not in the other set of companies, and what should you look for when you are applying or when you are switching jobs between one company to another. How should align with the vision and everything. So I hope आपको ये वीडियो काफ़ी अच्छी लगी होगी, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, see you, take care, and thanking the supporter of this channel, Newton School. So guys, what is Newton School? Newton School एक edtech startup है जहाँ पे you can learn more about different technologies out there. They will help you get job offers from these top tech companies, and उनका एक बहुत ही अच्छा प्रोग्राम है जहाँ पे आपको ₹1 भी पे नहीं करना है जब तक आपके इन कंपनीज में जॉब नहीं लग जाता. They have very good offerings with this course, live classes, industrial projects, mock interviews, and personal mentoring. I will put the link in the description, and I suggest you all to check this out and explore their courses.